to going.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been driving in your car and wondering how you get from point A to point B? A lot of people wonder this, but they don't know exactly how it works. The answer is the internal combustion engine. The internal combustion engine is what moves your car from point A to point B. Today I'm going to explain the brief process of how an internal combustion engine works and give you a little background on it. First of all, there are two types of internal combustion engines, the 4-stroke and the 2-stroke. The 4-stroke engine is what's most commonly used in automobiles, and the 2-stroke is used in applications like four-wheelers and lawnmowers. So in 1680, Christian Huygens designed the first internal combustion engine on paper, but he never actually implemented this into an actual design. And then along came Francois in 1807, and he designed the first automobile with an internal combustion engine. The design was great for this, but it never actually worked as an engine. And then Nicholas Otto came along in 1876, and he designed what is most similar today as the 4-stroke engine. Next slide. So the 4-stroke engine, the term 4-stroke comes from the piston moving up and down 4 different times. The 4 different strokes are called intake, compression, power, and exhaust. I'm going to talk briefly about each of these. First of all, the intake stroke. As the piston moves down from top dead center, the intake valves on the top open, as you can see in this picture here. The intake valves open as the piston moves down, creating a vacuum inside the cylinder. This draws air in, and as the piston reaches bottom dead center, the intake valves close. And this brings us to our next stroke, which is called the compression stroke. So after the piston reaches bottom dead center, it's a closed system inside the cylinder, and the piston moves back up, compressing the air from 8 to 10 times smaller than what it originally was. As it reaches the top again, it ends the compression stroke. The next stroke is called the power stroke, which is where all your engine's momentum and movement comes from. So as the piston's rising, it squirts fuel, as you can see in here. It squirts fuel into the cylinder, and then as it reaches the top, it ignites the fuel and forces the piston back down. This is called your power stroke, and it gives you all the power for your engine. The last stroke is called the exhaust stroke. Once the air-fuel mixture is burned, as it reaches bottom dead center, the exhaust valves on top open, as you can see right here. And the piston moves back up, allowing the air to escape, the air and fuel mixture to escape, and cleaning out the cylinder. So just to review a little bit, the 4 strokes of an engine are intake, compression, power, and exhaust. All these 4 strokes together make up the engine and gives it its power. As you can see in this slide right here, so we just looked at one cylinder. Now imagine it across 4 cylinders, 6 cylinders, 8 cylinders, as big as your automobile has. So the crankshaft's on the bottom, moving these pistons up and down in unison, but the timing's offset so that the engine stays moving constantly. So the firing order for this would be 1, 3, 4, 2, and this is a 4-cylinder engine. So they fire offset of each other to keep the engine moving and ultimately get your car from point A to point B. So this is how your internal combustion engine works, and now you know when you're driving around how you get from point A to point B. And here's where I got my information and my pictures from.